So, Declan, you've been referred to me because you've been experiencing digestive problems. Before I examine you, perhaps you could tell me in your own words the history of the condition.
Well, it all started about 3 years ago. I suddenly found I was having issues keeping food and drink down. So I went to the doctor and he said, well, what you're describing, it sounds like acid reflux. Well, I'd heard of that and I didn't think that's what it was. Anyway, he prescribed a course of H2 receptor blockers and said, just try, and if this doesn't work, then we'll schedule some tests.
And?
Well, I was right to be sceptical because they didn't work. So I ended up going for an endoscopy, and my GP was surprised. He said, you were right, there is something else going on. They'd taken a biopsy of my stomach, and there was a problem with the bacteria there. So he put me on a triple antibiotic, and I was on that for 21 days.
And did that help?
I did feel a bit better, but if I ate certain foods, they'd still get stuck in my throat, like when I was eating bread, that sort of thing. Then fast forward to this time last year, and I had the same episode again. I just couldn't keep the food down. Only this time, it wasn't only that. I also had a feeling like my stomach was burning. It was horrible, like my insides were on fire or something. I thought it would pass like the other symptoms did, but actually it just got more and more intense, so I called the hospital and the paramedics came out to get me.
So what happened there?
Well, they did some tests. They took a stool sample and they told me they were going to analyse that to see what was going on down there. Anyway, eventually I was told I'd been diagnosed with colitis and again was prescribed antibiotics. So I took them, but within an hour or two of taking those pills, I was throwing up again.
Right.
So I ended up back in hospital because I couldn't keep anything down, and I was really suffering from fatigue. I was having trouble even standing at this point, and basically everything hurt. So they admitted me and put me on an IV for fluids because I was dehydrated and malnourished.
And they did more tests?
Yes, this time they gave me a barium swallow test and took an X-ray of my chest area. What that showed was that I had a disorder in my esophagus. Basically, the endings of the nerve cells are supposed to move the food down my esophagus to my stomach, and so signal to my LES muscle to relax and allow the food into my stomach. But because these nerves aren't working, there's no signal and the muscle doesn't open.
So they diagnosed achalasia?
That's right. They told me I'd have to manage the condition somehow. I mean, that's okay because it's not all the time. I have these episodes where I can't keep anything down. Then for a while I'm okay as long as I'm careful. I keep to a mostly liquid diet or go for food that's easy to break down. I watch the texture of the solid stuff I eat and keep to small portions. Another thing that's helped is having carbonated drinks at mealtimes because burping helps to get the LES working.
That's right. OK, well, I think I've got the picture now. Next, I'd like to ask what you're hoping I can do for you.
Well, I was looking on the internet and I saw that there's a new form of surgery that's been developed that might make a difference to me. My GP said you'd be able to tell me about that.
OK, well, let's begin by analysing.